Welcome to Someday by the Sea. I'm Denise and I love creating. Here you'll find lots of DIYs on a budget, some trash to treasure, and hopefully a little inspiration for your next creation. If that sounds good to you, please subscribe and hit that bell. And if you're returning, thank you so much, guys. You are the best. Let's get to crafting. My first DIY is this beautiful pumpkin centerpiece. And I just started out with one of those pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, styrofoam, and they're hollow inside. And it's super simple. I just cut off the top, and I'm taking my cashew colored chalk paint in Waverly, and I'm just going to paint the entire pumpkin in cashew. So guys, this video is part of the Celebrate Fall 2021 challenge, and it's hosted by Bargain Bluebird. And oh my gosh, what a cool channel. You have got to check her out. She does DIYs, shopping, decorating, all on a budget. And she is so sweet, so please check out her channel. And don't forget the amazing playlist for this challenge. It's all going to be linked in my description. I do paint the bottom of the pumpkin also. And I'm just going to take my heat tool and dry it really, really good because I want it super dry for the next step. Now I take one of those napkins from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to separate the layers. There's 2 layers, 2 plies, and I'm gonna struggle for a second to start it, but eventually I get there and separate the 2. It's better to do this technique if you separate the plies. It just works better that way. Now I'm taking my scissors and I am just cutting around the off camera. I'm cutting around the image as close as I can. So it fits nicely there on the pumpkin. I take my matte Mod Podge and I'm going to put the Mod Podge on the pumpkin. I'm just using a little foam brush for this. Put a good layer of Mod Podge on there. And I'm going to lay the napkin real gentle, pressing with my fingers, just real gentle so I don't rip it. I just cut it a little bit so it lays flatter, easier. And I'm just using my finger to get out all the wrinkles, well, most of them. I don't mind some of them. But the major wrinkles I just kind of smoothed out with my finger. Now I'm going to take the Mod Podge and put a layer on top of the napkin. And I am going to do this to both sides of the pumpkin, guys. Take my finger and just get out any bubbles. Make sure it's laying nice and flat. Hey guys, if you haven't hit the like button yet, go ahead. Hitting the like button really helps my channel. Just drying it off real good here. Now, after I painted, I noticed that there's a crack on the sides of the pumpkin. So I thought I'll put a little glam into this pumpkin here. So I got some of that, what is it, diamond wrap? It's from the Dollar Tree. It's a light green color. And it's a self-adhesive. You take the backing off and it sticks on like a sticker. But I think the paper to it was more sticky than the actual ribbon. So I do just stick it on here, but off camera I do put some hot glue on there just to make sure that it stays nice and secure. Okay, now I'm putting that aside, and I have a candlestick here from the Dollar Tree, and I have my celery colored chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to paint, it's a blue candlestick, you can't really tell, but it's blue, and I'm painting it in the celery color. So you know me, guys, I paint a little and then I dry a little. It just works better for me that way. It goes a little quicker. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you as part of my crafting family here on YouTube. And you can also find me on Instagram at ByTheSea65. I also post there. Now here I'm taking, I had one of those little packages from the Dollar Tree, the little packages of the maple leaf fall flowers. And it's just in the traditional fall colors. I thought they were so pretty. And I'm just hot gluing them all around the top of the pumpkin. And I'm going in a pattern. I'm going green, orange, green, orange. Now inside the pumpkin, guys, first I tried a little, like a plastic bag from the grocery store. I put it in there and I put a little piece of floral foam on top of that for the flowers, but it wasn't stable enough. So I took that all out and I ended up getting a big chunk of floral foam and just hot gluing it right to the bottom of the pumpkin, and that worked out much better. So I'm taking some, I have some mini mums and I have some wheat, and I do have some fall flower stems there too. But I'm just cutting down all the flowers, cutting them all apart. I got stuck there for a minute. And then this one fell apart. I gotta put it back together. And this one I gotta take the label off and then put that back together. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here we go. I grabbed my pumpkin. I already started with the flowers. And I just arranged them the way I like. See, there's that foam. I switch it out. And look. The magic of editing. It's all done. Well, just about. I swear, the Dollar Tree's wheat this year is so pretty. So I have some wheat in there, and here I'm putting in those leaves that I eventually take out. It's a little too full for me. There's too much going on there. Just arranging the flowers and the wheat in a way that I like. I had a little problem with this one piece of wheat here. The leaves and the flowers were covering the foam, and I couldn't get it to grab onto the foam, you know. And it was just giving me a little hard time there, but eventually I got them in there. Here we go. I'm going to put that aside. And I decided that I was going to distress my candlestick. After it was all dry, I took my antiquing wax by Waverly and my little chippy brush from the Dollar Tree, and I just went around all the edges, just dry brushed around all the edges, and I took my baby wipe and wiped after. I love Waverly's antiquing wax. It just gives it such a nice antique, aged, worn look. It's just, I love it. Wiping it off there with my baby wipe. And there's my kitty Toby, come to say hello. And I had some more of that ribbon, and I decided to put it on the bottom edge of the candlestick there to give it a little glam, you know, to tie in with the pumpkin more. It's not too much, it's just a little bit. And I do use the hot glue this time. Make sure it's nice and secure on there. Hot glue the end on. There we go. I think it's cute. Yeah, I'm a mess. Look at this. Ugh. Okay, so I take my pumpkin and just see where I want to put it. Make sure it's centered. And I'm going to take the super glue from the Dollar Tree, Fix All adhesive. That works so good, guys. It's a lot cheaper than E6000 too. And I take my hot glue, and in the spaces where there's no glue, I put my hot glue. I don't want to mix the two together. And then I just put my pumpkin on there. Make sure it's centered, everything's good. And there she is, she's all done. I think she came out so pretty, guys, with the little bit of glam there, the little bling, not too much, just enough. And the colors, and I just love Dollar Tree's mini mums this year. They're so, so pretty. All right. I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments below. Now, DIY number 2 are these sweet little pumpkins. Now, I am taking some cornstarch and just putting some in my little mold here that I have for my clay, so the clay doesn't stick to the mold. I'm taking my paper clay. I'm going to smush it up in my hand for a little while, make it nice and soft. That stuff dries real quick, so I put it right back in the baggie and zip it up. Here we go. I just work with it a little bit, and then I'm going to press it into my mold. And with my fingers, I'm just going to remove the excess clay. And I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to pop that piece right out. Look at that! Oh my gosh, how cute is that? I don't usually work with clay, guys. I love it. I love the look. I love the texture. I love the molds they have. But I usually don't, and I decided for this DIY that I was gonna get my hands in there and play with my clay. So here I am. Just making a couple other molds here for my pumpkins. I have those little pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. Just have a couple different sizes there. I'm going to take for this first time attaching the clay, I use wood glue from the Dollar Tree and hot glue. But this is the only time I use it with the hot glue. For the rest of the clay, I just use the wood glue, and it works perfectly fine. That wood glue from the Dollar Tree, guys, that's good stuff. I'm just gently, very gently pressing the clay onto my pumpkin, being careful not to press out any of that gorgeous texture. And just have a few more molds to put on there. I'm just using the wood glue. Put a few dots down, and then I just take my brush or my finger and just spread it out. There we go. And I just continue. With spreading the glue and putting my clay on my pumpkins. I know, right? How super cute. Yeah, just taking my wood glue again. Gonna spread it around with my finger. That worked super good, guys. Super good. And I did let these pumpkins, I let them sit overnight so the clay dried and the wood glue, everything was set really good. Now I'm taking pumpkin, celery, and cashew, all by Waverly, and I'm going to take my pumpkin and add a little bit of white chalk paint just to lighten it up a little bit. I wanted the orange to be a little bit muted. I wanted these to be really soft, romantic colors, fall colors. So I'm just mixing that up really good. And I am just going to paint my pumpkins. Oh, I can't wait to see everybody's video. Make sure you check out the playlist that I link in my description box, guys. There's so many talented creators that are involved in this challenge, and I just can't wait to see everyone's video. I'm just going to continue to paint my pumpkins. Love that celery color. It's such a pretty green. Now I'm taking my white wax. This is my first time doing the white wax, guys. My pumpkins are all painted and dried, and I'm just dipping this paper towel into the wax and applying it to the pumpkin. And then I'm taking the dry part of my towel and just taking the wax off. And it gives it such a beautiful texture and look. It's just so pretty. It softens up. It's like a whitewash, and it just softens up the colors just perfectly. Gives it that pretty, I don't know, whitewashed glow, if that's what you want to call it, but I love it. Of course, this is my first time using it, and I probably went a little too heavy there, but we made it work. Now I'm taking the stems of the pumpkins and my, what is that, Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel, and I'm just painting all 3 stems. And I did add some antiquing wax to the pumpkins, and I did also put a layer of matte Mod Podge over them. And then I put the stems back on, and this is how they came out. I think they came out really super cute. And this is everything together. And guys, I hope you like this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel so much. It helps me to be seen more. And if you really like what you see, just hit subscribe and hit that bell, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the playlist, and don't forget to check out Bargain Bluebird. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon.